It is August 10, 2026. It's 2 days before me and my fiance's 9th anniversary from dating. I am deep in introspection as I come off competition season as a Tahitian dancer, something that was occupying a lot of my time and brain space. And now that my time has freed up post-competition, I am starting wedding planning because I just did not have any brain space to be able to start that. Me and my fiance have visited 2 venues already, which is bringing more and more clarity on what we want our wedding to look like. And I say all this to say that I'm beginning to paint a clearer picture of the type of person that I want to show up as I enter this chapter of being a married woman, but more than that, just becoming more and more of the person that God has created me to be. And that goes beyond just being a spouse. This is being a businesswoman. This is being a partner. This is being the most, I wouldn't say advanced, but the fullest version of myself as a foundation of who I'm becoming. Because it all starts with right now, before I become a wife, and then before I eventually become a mother. I want to be the pinnacle of me as Christina Marie Agoncillo in her fullest form. So I guess that's what this is. I have this urge to cut my hair, like not chop it off, but cut it a good amount, because I could feel the dead ends just still existing, but getting covered up by a lot of the healthy hair on the middle and outside portion of my head. But I can feel, like, on the insides how dead all of it is. Just it's not even that bad, honestly, but I've perpetuated this hairstyle and this hair length because I refuse to cut it where it needs to be cut so that it can start anew. So I think that's both physical with my hair and spiritual, metaphysical with myself as a whole. I need to cut my hair. I'm still debating if I want somebody else to do it or if I'm just going to do it, because I have been doing it myself for the past 4 years or so, ever since I started in beauty school, maybe 5 years ago. I don't know if I need somebody else to do it or if I should just save my coin and continue to do it myself. But the symbolism behind it is still standing true, where I need to cut off a good amount in order for me to start fresh. So when it comes to cutting things out, let's start with my room. I have been haunted by the idea of how much stuff I actually have beneath and behind my drawers, my closet, even in storage in the garage. I remember when I was younger, there was this portion of my closet that I know had just random stuff. And sometime in elementary school, when I finally pruned everything, removed all this junk, I remember how renewed I felt and how just relieved I was as a tween, knowing that it was this cardboard drawer that I remember I even drew on with a marker and stuff. It looked so dated. It looked like one of those old 90s couches, but it was a drawer that was just, I don't know, maybe like 10 inches by 10 inches by 10 inches or something. And it just had just random stuff. And this imagery is stuck in my brain because it was a symbol of the clutter that I kept tucked away. And I feel that coming back into my life again. I mean, it's been there. It's figuratively been building up in my room. And it's, of course, much worse because I just have way more stuff these days. And I am dying to rid myself of that. And one of the steps of that is to get rid of a lot of clothes. I'm getting rid of some inches on my hair. Not all of it, because I do think I still want to perform for hula in my studio. So you kind of need a little bit longer hair, but if I could get rid of all the dead ends that is super necessary to just allow my hair to thrive again, I gotta cut that off. And then I have so much clothes that I literally only use maybe, honestly, less than 10% of. I stay re-wearing these same things over and over, and I don't like my image. I'm hiding behind big t-shirts, graphic tees still, and I've only been adding more and more t-shirts. I'm a grown woman about to become a wife and eventually a mother, and I'm over here hiding behind just exercise shorts and big tees. No, that's not who I'm trying to be. And I do hair, and I'm trying to look good. Like, my hair is cool. It looks nice. I can do a lot of stuff with it, but it can only do so much. What we wear is an extension of how we see ourselves. And I saw a photo of me from 12, 15 years ago. I forgot how long ago. And I still look like I dress the same. My face might have aged just a little bit, but not that much, which is cool. But then my style didn't mature. And how is it going to mature if all the things that I have in my drawers are things from 10, 8, even like 5 years ago? There hasn't been any elevation in my personal style. And that's something I used to advocate so much for when it came to how my fiance dresses, because I was able to have a say and curate how he looks, especially because I'm his barber. But if I'm not pouring into myself the same way, I'm gonna not only stay stagnant, I'm just gonna regress back into the times and not elevate myself in the trajectory that I'm ultimately trying to go in, both finances and imagery and all that. I'm rambling at this point, but I just wanted to record this to document and give myself that accountability to cut off what I need to, but also make this about surrendering to God and not withholding any of what needs to be surrendered. So if I'm able to give my all, I feel like I'm going off course, but it all kind of ties in together. But the ability to let go of some of these things, this energy, and let God take control is what is going to bring in so much more than I can imagine. Because right now I'm holding on to the old. I'm holding on to unhealthy ends over here. And it's holding me back. And I'm sick of holding on to these things and it keeping me from being the fullest I could be. And I might not include this, but one of the big realizations that I came to when I was journaling is how much I pour into my man. I pour into my fiance as much as I can, when I can. It's my priority to give him life and uplift him and have him reach his potential. And the crazy thing is that I have not been doing that for myself. I am hanging on to these things that aren't helping me progress. But just imagine if the same amount of love and the same care and the same attention of when I call him handsome, can I call myself beautiful? When I feel this urge to just exude all this love, can I do the same for myself? When I want to get creative with his hair and dedicate that time, that might be something I actually do for myself, but do I do it enough? When I have opinions on how he dresses and he listens and he builds that confidence, can I be as discerning and thoughtful and picky and intentional for myself so that I can flourish? Can I be faithful in myself? Can I be faithful in the gifts that God has given me enough and surrender it all so that I can flourish? That's the mindset that I'm on. It's maybe these downloads that I was getting this morning and realizing that I have to pour into myself. And oh, that's crazy. Maybe I need to empty things out and get rid of the fluff, get rid of the excess, get rid of the things that no longer serve me so that I can better pour into myself. I think that's what God was trying to tell me. I'm making room so that I can pour into myself. Because when I pour into myself and I'm partnering with God in this, then the overflow is going to be unlike I've ever seen from myself. Okay, I think that's where we're at. That was really cool. Thanks, God. That was a visual in there. Like, that's exactly what I needed. I'm attaching loosely, maybe it shouldn't be loose, but 60 days is where my head is at right now, because I was just chit-chatting with my chat GPT, and for some reason 60 days was something that was mentioned, that I had mentioned previously. But when I figure out what 60 days is from today, it is the day of my sister's bachelorette. That's day one of her bachelorette, which is awesome. I feel like that is a great short-term end goal that maybe I could just hold myself to, and I can really come into my Charmeleon phase. If you know Pokemon, it's Charmander, then Charmeleon, then Charizard. Yes, so it's my little Charmeleon phase, the 60 days. And the date that I'm really honing in on as I prep into it, but already getting a head start, is my wedding day. And my wedding day is set to be August 12th, 2027. And that's really ramping up to come into my fullest form. I want to have felt so fulfilled to become my own person in the next 367 days, so that I am proud of who I am building, not really to leave behind, but to build from as a foundation before I take on a new last name. But really, it's for myself and being able to live up to who God wants me to be before entering the next chapters in my life. I don't know how much I'm going to record of that journey, but I did want to record today because it was really coming to me and I just needed to get it out of my brain. I already journaled about it. I've been consuming a lot of sermons and all of that, and I just don't want to have all this input without any output. So thank you for listening. Pray for me. And perhaps I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Mala mapano. Ingat. Thank you so much. Bless you.